drive now, and I have had assistance, and I've set up, and I'm driving, and I'm often when I'm driving, I'm listening to audio, like music. I mean, sometimes I drive without any music or listening to anything on the radio. It's just the sound of the road and getting where I'm going. Sometimes music makes me, or podcast or something puts me to sleep, because it takes too much concentration sometimes, or otherwise it's just enjoyable to listen to. So what I've been doing today as I drive around is listened to a few of the recordings. Sometimes I've listened to the Compound of Alchemy, which is when I tried a character voice for one chapter, like for 5-10 minutes of reading, and that was kind of fun. It was so bloody fun to do that I did the whole book, and it was not easy. It took me like 6 months, but then I managed it, and so I listen to it once in a while, and I get a lot more ideas from re-listening to it. And this is part of a wisdom thing where you go through and revisit material multiple times, and not as a consumer, not as a simple read something once and forget it, which is literally a topic that's touched on in I want to say that's in Liber Patris Sapientiae. What was the line? They something about they wean in great books for the science of alchemy. It's basically people trying to say that if you've read something and you think you got it, well, just because you've read something doesn't mean you got it. Anyway, so I like to think about things for a long time, and that's why I read these things and I edit them. I spend a lot of time editing them, and I think about it, and then after I've finished and put them on YouTube, I listen to them again. So listening to this recent, what was it, April 2020, yeah, it was just like a week ago, April 2023, this is still what today is, this is the 29th, and I'm driving to get to a confectionery festival. I'm going to buy some sweet treats for fun. I didn't even know it was that, but I stopped at a bakery and found out they had a poster on the wall. Anyway, point is, I'm driving around and I'm listening to this Elixir video that I uploaded a few days ago. Got a few hundred views in like a few days, which was like a lot for me. And then what's really interesting is it's in that and in the Compound of Alchemy, and I think it also starts to touch on in Norton's Ordinal of Alchemy. He doesn't get to the red elixir. He only gets to the white and near to the end of it, and he really doesn't tell you what it is. But he does say that after it took him most of his training and apprenticeship under his master to learn what the white elixir was, and after that, his master told him in a cryptic form what the red elixir was, and it really sounds a lot. If you read and listen to Liber Patris Sapientiae and I think the Compound of Alchemy, what's the one after that? Then there's Hermes Bird. I always get one of those. I'm starting to forget which ones I've read. But connecting, test 2, 3, 4. Okay, I just drove through a dead spot. Hopefully I hope this video is not terrible and that the audio is okay. It's happened before where a whole live stream is terrible and I have to show it unlisted. Anyway, there's a lot of sexual allusion or imagery used through the chemical processes and essentially the art of, or the science of alchemy, the processes that are expressed So, you know, like lying in bed and rumbling to and fro and heat and sweat and all that. So, I mean, but like, and also the very obvious male and female and conjunction and union and such, et cetera, et cetera. There's more to it than that. I mean, literally. But it's still very metaphorical. And that is what is used to refer to the red medicine. But if you go and listen to, I believe it is if you really listen to it, there are different authors that use metaphor to point to the real or the material, let's say, but the reality is that the metaphor pointing to the real is actually more real than the real. It's hard to describe, but literally this thing keeps saying that it's dropping, and it happens when I drive by a truck. So if I was to say in one sentence, like, what I think the red and white elixirs are, it is true to say that there's not just one. What do you do? Okay, some giant guy just tried to blow it past me, and then he changed because I was going to pull into the slow lane. Anyway, the red and white essentially are wisdom and human reproduction. That's what they are, in a sense. They're medicine. They are medicines, and it's medicines of the soul. And in a lot, if you look at a lot of Kunrath is Heinrich Kunrath wrote Amphitheatrum. What was it? Amphitheatrum Sapientiae Aeternae Solis Verae, the amphitheater of the only true and eternal wisdom. He taps into the book of Proverbs in the Bible, which is, again, I think that's one of the first videos I ever put on this YouTube channel. Is 8 and 9 of that book, side with the Tao Te Ching chapters. But it's essentially a form. It's like magic, but it's really not. It's kind of like a twisty metaphor, and it's essentially a philosophy trying to find God through chemical processes, which fail, and enough of these authors describe how it fails. If you're trying to turn any base metals to gold, well, most of the poetic writings that Ashmole has collected in Theatrum Chemicum Britannicum talk about how the conversion of other metals or other things into gold is a fool's errand. You know, it's just stupid to try that. It's not stupid to try it. It's just guaranteed to fail. But the real thing is that by doing so, you learn. It's like trial and error. And of course, in error, you learn. The more error that you have, you learn. And that is actually the basis of the growth of knowledge and wisdom. Unfortunately, a lot of times it kills people. And funnily enough, in some of those writings, not sure, it was one of the compound or ordinal of alchemy, referring to if people eat the chemicals that they're making or they put it to their tongue and taste it. If they eat it, then they typically die. Yeah, well, that kind of makes sense, right? Okay, so, but really, the white elixir is learning or wisdom. Oh, passing a Quebec bus. Oops, and here we go. Gotta change my lanes, and oh God, somebody wants to change lanes. These indecisive drivers are the worst. Yeah, and the ones that indecisively put their brakes on when they're not sure what they want to do. Oh, I'm just going to stop on this high-speed highway. Oh, well, no, that's why. There is somebody parked on the side of the road, too. Okay, so the white elixir, it also, in other places, like the introduction to Hermes Bird, the opening, what was it, the prayer. There's the prayer and the preface before Hermes Bird. The prayer talks about the red grape and the white. So that's the fruits of vintage. So you can say that part of alchemy, the red and white medicines, are also, alcoholic beverages. But if you have alcoholic beverages, it plays with your person's mind and libido, or they will. So some alcohol for most people is somewhat of an aphrodisiac. So that, there you go. See, if you have a red elixir that is wine, it leads to a potential red elixir that is the human procreation aspect, which of course is, like I say, that's a metaphor, but it's a metaphor that points to the chemical of turning base metals to gold, which is what all the classic simpletons that were into alchemy wanted to do, is just to go straight to gold. I want gold. Everybody wants gold. But that in itself is a metaphor for conversion to what it really actually is, which is the knowledge and transformation and expansion of one's life and the spirit that is underlying life. So the underlying life is wisdom in Proverbs 8-9. I should actually recite that right now just to finish off this reading, because that was one of the first books or episodes, videos on this channel, and I spent October through February memorizing that. And now I'm going to hit the Tao Te Ching. So this is, if I can get it right, these are Proverbs 8-9 from the Bible. One of the most profound expressions of wisdom, which is also a root for some of the most profound alchemists in the world. So listen, wisdom calls for a hearing, Proverbs 8. Listen as wisdom calls out. Hear as understanding raises her voice. On the hilltop, along the road, she takes her stand at the crossroads. By the gates at the entrance of the town, on the road leading in, she cries aloud. Listen to, how does it go? I call to you, to all of you. I raise my voice to all people. You simple people, use good judgment. You foolish people, show some understanding. Show some understanding. Listen to me, for I have important things to tell you. Everything I say is right, for I speak the truth and detest every kind of deception. My advice is wholesome. There's nothing devious or crooked in it. Oh, driving by a truck? Might cut me off. My advice is wholesome. There's nothing devious or crooked in it. My words are plain to anyone with understanding, clear to those with knowledge. Choose my instruction rather than silver, and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is far more valuable than rubies. Nothing desire can compare with it. I wisdom live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore, I hate pride and arrogance, corruption, and perverse speech. I might forget a line or two because I sometimes do, but it's been 5 months. I've memorized it, but I still make mistakes sometimes. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore, I hate pride and arrogance, corruption, and perverse speech. Common sense and success belong to me. Insight and strength are mine. Because of me, kings reign, and rulers make just decrees. Rulers lead with my help, and nobles make righteous judgments. Oh, by the way, this is the New Living Translation, translation of Proverbs 8 and 9. So, because of me, kings reign, and rulers make righteous just decrees. I'm going around a sharp corner, and sometimes my phone might fly. It's sitting on a really loose phone mount. Just got off the highway, so I'm just going to drive slowly to my destination, but I'll try to finish the recitation before I end this little live stream. Okay, so because of me, kings reign and rulers make just decrees. Rulers lead with my help, and nobles make righteous judgments. I love all who love me. Those who search will surely find me. I have riches and honor, as well as enduring wealth and justice. My gifts are better than gold, even the purest gold. My wages are better than sterling silver. I walk in wait, is that the right place? I walk in paths of righteousness. No, I walk in righteousness in paths of justice. All who love me inherit wealth. I will fill their treasuries. The Lord formed me before he created anything else. No, the Lord formed me at the very beginning before he created anything else. I was appointed in ages past at the very first, before the earth began. Before the mountains were formed, before the springs bubbled forth their waters, before the no, I think I got them mixed up. I was appointed in ages past at the very first, before the world began. I was born before the mountains were created. Before the oceans were created. Before the springs bubbled forth their waters. I was before the earth was. What was it? Before the mountains were formed, before the hills, I was born. Before he had made the earth and fields and the first handfuls of soil. I was there when he established the heavens, when he set springs deep in the earth. I was there when he drew the horizons on the oceans. When he set I was there when he set the horizons, drew the horizons on the ocean. I was there when he drew the horizons on the oceans before he said, oh shit, now I'm getting it confused. It's unhelpful for me to be driving when I'm reciting poetry. Because when I'm actually doing this, and part how I memorized Proverbs 8 and 9 was by writing it out. And often when you visually see, if you remember one verse and you write it out, that visual cue, by hand, the physical act of writing it, while also seeing it, and also thinking the words slowly, will be a memory trigger the next line. And then when you do the next line, it'll be a memory trigger. There's a serialization aspect of memorization there. I'm missing the handwriting, and I'm missing the visual, and I'm driving, so there's a distraction element, so I'm trying to get it right. But I was there when he established the heavens, when he set springs deep in the earth. No, that's wrong too. No, I'm getting it. I don't want to. Okay, I think I'm going to have to stop because I'm driving and I don't want to get too distracted. But reading this poetry, I wanted to make another live stream where I recite it and do it much more smoothly. And I have read it. I have recited it, but okay. Maybe I'll just skip the part that I don't remember and I'll carry on so that it's actually cleaner instead of an abrupt end. I was there when he established the heavens, when he set springs deep in the earth. I was there when he drew the horizons on the oceans, when he set clouds above. I was there when he set the clouds above, when he set the springs deep in the earth. When he established springs deep in the earth, that's what it was. I was there when oceans, horizon on the oceans. Yeah, when he drew the horizons on the oceans, something like that. I was there when he set the clouds above. When he, I don't know, then he established springs deep in the earth. I was there when he I was there, and when he, okay, I'll just skip to the pieces that I remember. When he marked off the earth's foundations, I was the architect at his side. I was his constant delight, rejoicing always in his presence. And how happy I was with the world he created, how I rejoiced with the human family. And so, my children, listen to me. For all who follow my ways are joyful. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Don't forget, don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen to me, watching for me daily at my gates, waiting for me outside my house. For those who find me, find life and receive favor from the Lord. But all those who miss me injure themselves. All who hate me love death. That's Proverbs 8. And here we are going through a town crosswalk. Proverbs 9 begins, Wisdom has built her house. She has carved its 7 columns. She has prepared a great banquet, mixed the wines and set the table. She has sent her servants to invite everyone to come. She stands on the heights overlooking the city and calls out. Come in with me, she urges the simple. To those who lack good judgment, she says, come, eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways behind and begin to live. Learn to use good judgment. Oh, somebody's trying to pull the corner while I'm going through on the right green light. Learn to use good judgment. This is very useful, what I'm about to say. This is a very, very powerful component of the Proverbs 9 that's applicable for online life and current day chaotic living in the world that we live in. Anyone who rebukes a mocker will get an insult in return. Anyone who corrects the wicked will get hurt. So don't bother correcting mockers, they will only hate you. But correct the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will be even wiser. Teach the righteous, and they will learn even more. The fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. Knowledge of the Holy One results in good judgment. Wisdom will multiply your days and add years to your life. If you become wise, you will be the one to benefit. But if you scorn wisdom, you will be the one to suffer. Now that was first Proverbs 8 and half of Proverbs 9, which was wisdom calls for a hearing. Now folly calls for a hearing. Which concludes in short terms the chapters of Proverbs 8 and 9 together. Folly calls for a hearing. The woman named Folly is brash. She is ignorant and doesn't know it. She sits in her doorway on the heights overlooking the city and calls out to men going by who are minding their own business. Come in with me, she urges the simple. To those who lack good judgment, she says, stolen water is refreshing. Food eaten in secret tastes the best. But little do they know, the dead are there. Her guests are in the depths of the grave. And that is a very, very short blip of Proverbs 9 and on folly, while the first one is primarily on wisdom. Two women, and this is one major foundation of human wisdom and what I would consider the white elixir, and which also can lead to the red elixir, which is bodily, the continuity of our biological state and our. Oh, here we go. Somebody's pulling in, and I'm actually getting to my destination as I'm finishing this. Wonderful. Thank you. I'm going to just say it's been really fun to do this little video. I hope the video. I'll find out later. I'm going to pull in and stop and then say adieu in the parking lot. Found my way to a festival down the highway for half an hour. That was fun. And I'm going to go in. Maybe I'll put a post and show what I bought. Thank you very much. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and weekend, and talk to you later.